Awesome. Thank you. And if you would like to join, well, there is a.
I'm Trisha's friend. I'm tape recording her.
So you signed here.
Trisha is out getting people signed up for the Green Party. I was out here with Kevin. This is Lonnie Clark, Nuts for Art. We're out at the Saturday market. So I'll let them finish. Kevin! Hey! We're together, remember, bud?
What's up?
Walk away from me.
He wanted to walk around.
Well,
that was your friend.
Yeah, I want to introduce you guys, but you should give this to these people. They're signing up for the Green Party on purpose.
I felt bad.
Don't feel bad. Impose, man. These fucking people need to know. Just hand it out. I'm videotaping us right now.
Yeah, I didn't want to interrupt his job if that's he's working or whatever.
Yeah, well, we can. We're not being paid not to interrupt him.
Right. I'm gonna have to tell him I'm voting for me.
Hi, how are you? And we need to let everyone know that she was actually committing crimes against humanity. Her and her staff knew not to go outside unless it was necessary, to wear a mask and to take a shower when you get home because everyone is being exposed to radiation via the jet stream, via Fukushima.
You know, but I'm struggling with this because locally, when you look at people who are real watchdogs and have the scientific measures behind them, it isn't showing up.
What's not showing?
The amount of radiation that
They're not testing. They're only testing
No,
for
there's
certain.
lots.
What groups
They're
you talking
testing
about?
for cesium. They're not testing for plutonium or americium.
But they is us. They are scientists like us who are actually.
You know what? The nuclear scientists, there's a huge history about this that I know about. In fact, I did a whole scientific study for my teacher at school. I'm going to the U of O, and at LCC I was in this territorial science class. We had to do this study. Do you know that the International Atomic Energy Agency has a censorship authority over the World Health Organization?
Totally know that.
So what happens is they're not allowed to test for certain types of radiation, like in Chernobyl.
But we can do that.
But we're not doing it because we are owned by the nuclear industry, which is the military industry, which is
They're still testing
Clinton.
positive for these radioactive elements, and they only have a half-life of 2
that
years,
is
which means it's still
illegal to sell in
ongoing.
Japan from Fukushima because of Hillary Clinton. The radiation rates, in fact, this week, you know what the EPA is about to pass? The comments just closed. If we have a nuclear meltdown, they're going to increase the rates of radiation until the emergency is over to 3,300% more times iodine 131. The EPA.
They're going to increase
The allowable acceptable radiation rates by 3,000% if we have a nuclear meltdown. In the event of a nuclear emergency, instead of increasing the rates, the security, and the regulations, they're relaxing it to a much, frankly, catastrophic for our children level. After Fukushima, they raised the rates of radiation from allowable levels of 10 counts per minute to 100. That's why now they're saying, oh, the rates are fine. It used to be illegal. Dr. John Goffman said we should have 0.17 rads in the air.
totally.
So what's happened is they don't know how to fix the problem, so they're just trying to make it acceptable.
Yeah, and they're
which
covering
is,
it
in
up,
my view,
and they're hiding the
we
truth
need people
behind
to
it.
know about the truth and demand the EP. Right now, you probably don't know about this, but I cover this. I have a radio show, and we cover this every Monday on the Asia Vision radio show. St. Louis is. People living in the Westlake landfill are living next to a burning nuclear dump site and a fuse wrap site. People are dying. One lady's house, the radiation in her house is 587 rads per counts per minute. And the EPA, you know why they can't get funding? Because we have so many fuse wrap sites and so little money because the Republicans have just been cutting down the budget to take care of it. It's really like we have a catastrophic emergency.
But the thing about the Fukushima plume, as far as I understand, is we have have not been able to bring in the data, which is people like us.
Well,
looking.
they've been suppressing it. There's actually there's
But
a
who is they?
Hold on a second, hold on a
Hillary.
second. Let me name some people. Let me name some
No.
people. Ken Buser is still doing water tests, and he's still finding radioactive cesium, which only has a half-life of 2 years, which means this is an ongoing event. TEPCO themselves is
An
out.
ongoing event. means
It's still
It is
every
an
day
ongoing-
it's dumping into the ocean.
6 nuclear meltdowns. We have a nuclear volcano.
Down inside there. They're killing tens of thousands of workers, okay? They're relabeling the waste packages and now incinerating low-level waste. So this is insane to have this conversation. They've come out and told us they're dumping millions of gallons of radioactive waste into the ocean every day. And to sit here and say, this is not a problem, this is not a plume, is outrageous. These are crimes against humanity. I'm sick and tired of the people being, this is not a fucking problem.
You know what, though? You're not going to get anywhere that way.
I don't care.
Well, we're not going to get this.
This is ridiculous.
We're not going to get
I
anywhere.
have the
This is the
scientific
hard
data.
reality.
I have the scientific
We're not
data.
going to get
I have the
anywhere.
news
We're
headlines, and
completely
here's the declassified
screwed,
documents.
super screwed. I mean,
I've
it's
watched so
going
many
to have
people
to
die of
collapse
cancer. This is
before it
outrageous.
gets better.
This is how
I
fucking
mean,
outrageous.
these guys are outraged
I've
because
watched
they're young.
cancer
I'm
grow out of the
60.
heads of so many people. This is disgusting.
I'm outraged, but I also saw
outraged.
Seth Rich get murdered
This
right
election,
before the Democratic
I'm 20 years old. I've never seen a real election in my life.
And, you know,
I've never seen a real election in my life.
Hillary Clinton's
Not one
election
real
fraud.
election in my life.
Election fraud was
Fascism,
perpetrated.
fascism, crimes against humanity. Stand along and play the drums.
Signed, videotaping it for YouTube.
No, I wanted to say earlier that
Ridiculous.
Hillary is one of
Millions
them
of
that's
people are
helping
going to die.
I know
Millions of
they-
people are going to die
they
because
are
of this,
dying.
and no one gives a fuck.
Well, no, there's an
People
email.
care. People
another
care.
part of the truth
People
that's
care.
Is we're all going to die.
People care, and people don't know how to fix it.
To really get, we all going to die.
This is what happens.
Okay, but this is murder.
Yes.
This is premeditated murder.
Yes.
Your anxiety level is going to make you sick.
Right. And
We're all
make you
gonna
more
die.
prone to cancer.
And totally.
Here,
We're
tap
all
on
gonna
your
die.
clavicle and do
so
some
you
tapping.
do what you
I mean,
can.
outrage is right. We need to get people
We
to
need to call our representatives and demand people be put on trial for these crimes against humanity.
The representatives
Because these
work
are
for the
known crimes
Rothschilds.
against
It's
humanity.
like they choose death. They choose rich over
I
death,
have
you know?
There's one of Hillary's email from April 5th, 2011, just 3 weeks after Fukushima happened. There's an email where she wrote saying we're going to use the FBI and the CIA to suppress all information related to Fukushima. So she's one of the ones covering up.
Information Act. What happened during
We don't hardly have the Freedom of Information Act anymore. This is why I'm Demexit, because it was the Democrats who brought in the reign of terror. They did not investigate George Bush stealing the elections openly. They could have. The Black Congressional Congress wanted one person.
Totally invested in its own perpetuation.
And
Well,
it's
we live in the
already-
Soviet
only
states of
way-
America then.
The only way out is through. And when it becomes irrelevant, because we say,
Well, that's
hey,
what's
bind
happening.
your-
There's a collapse coming.
Right.
I
And
ain't
it's
buying
worth
your
beginning.
clothes.
Right.
Events
I
already
ain't
happened.
buying
The
your
collapse already
medicine.
collapsed.
Right. We're
And
not.
it becomes so irrelevant by what we, because in a way, and this is going to sound crazy to you, the corporations is us. And so we
Right.
Look, I'm
invested.
videotaping on a corporate cell phone.
We invested in
Good
that.
point.
We
I'm-
totally did.
I'm just saying-
and there's nothing wrong with that. They did what we asked them to do, which is to make profit and no responsibility.
That's bullshit. I did not ask them to do that.
But we,
Well,
being
what-
the larger collective,
No. That's
That's
right.
Well,
And you
what
know
you
who
gotta
owned
do
that?
is take your
Like,
estate back, because with the birth certificate, that's the corporation.
the machines
Yes,
are
and
busted.
so you have to
You
learn
know
to
the
become
United
a
States
secured party
machines are
creditor to do what they do,
unrepairable.
because we have the power to create money out of thin
It's
air.
so
just like
completely
they just
outrageous.
didn't give us full disclosure when they created that bond when we were born. And that's what I've been trying to do the last few
It's
months. I've been
outrageous.
discovering, and it's
I mean,
like,
your
there's a way to
outrage
do
is
it,
right.
but you gotta know how to do it. Like, there's so many hoops you gotta jump through. They just didn't tell you. It's like, oh, we're not gonna teach you any of this, so you're on your own on it. So you gotta like figure it out for yourself.
And so it all comes back, which is what you're doing, which is awesome. You got to sweep from your own door, but really you got to go.
All right, come over here. Maybe it's good.
You got to get to the point where you find the peace in you,
better.
love enough to make a difference. Even though anger and injustice and rage is appropriate, it's never going to get you through to the place that love is. So when you can love yourself enough to know that you're doing everything you can to put it down, your heart will be at peace, your breath will be at peace, your body will be at peace, and you'll be useful. First with yourself.
Gandhi, the Gandhi principle.
Right.
Your first hippie lesson.
Yeah. First they ignore you, then laugh at you, then fight you, then you win.
It's true though. We have to love ourselves. This self-love is the key. That's why my card says
Yeah,
happiness
people
is
don't get it, though.
resistance.
Yeah, that's why
They
I'm
want us
doing
to
the
do
sovereign
fucking
thing. I'm just gonna get
miracle.
right in their face with it. Like, fuck it. They're either
I
gonna get it or they're
think
not.
The pharmaceutical has the pharmaceutical industry has raped me.
Imagine what's
I
going
don't
to
know what
happen,
justice
Kevin.
this man wants.
Imagine what's going to happen to our nation when the economy collapses and the
already
pharmaceutical
It's collapsed. They
companies.
just haven't told us yet.
Yeah, but when
Listen.
there is no pharmaceuticals, when all these people are without their drugs.
They're gonna be the
I'm gonna
ones that are
die.
begging.
I will die.
No, you won't.
I can't
You'll stop
breathe.
eating fucking cheese, for God's
I don't eat
sake.
cheese.
You eat chemicals.
Not
Do you
really.
still eat box food?
No, I really don't. I really don't. I really have been going all fruit recently.
You can't just do all fruit. You need other
Eat
vegetables.
vegetables.
You need other things.
I've been doing
all
a lot of
fruit
raw
is not
vegetables
good.
lately. I've been trying to do the gluten-free, dairy-free, and sugar-free diet, and it's
For
been
real?
helpful. I'm losing a lot of weight. It's flushing a lot of toxins out of my body for sure.
Hey, man.
At least do gluten-free, because being autistic, that's what I've learned is affects autistic people. So.
I'm anti-label. I don't like to call people names. I think that whole thing of what we are.
Well, I believe autism's more of and I have another friend, my friend Michael. He's a drum maker who makes his own djembes and whatnot. He makes any kind of drum anyway. He's autistic too, but he's an older gentleman, and he says that autism's not a disorder. It's part of our social evolution. Like, it's the next evolution, like consciousness awakening, because a lot of autistic people have this artistic talent of some sort and whatnot.
I think those are negative connotations. I think
I
that's
don't
part
think
of the
we have the
brainwash.
history or the scientific data to really understand the concepts.
Well, I
I
see
think
it
it's
as
just negative brainwash.
Yeah, exactly. I think
Labeling,
yeah, exactly.
causing
Right, and
people
so
like,
to look
fuck
at it
you.
as-
People are just humans. We're
Maybe we
like,
should just burn our money right here. Make
Like-
a real protest.
right.
go ahead, burn your money. I'm not burning mine.
It
I've been
is.
working hard for mine.
It's actually
Thanks,
blood.
but no.
It's blood money and it's
Yes,
drug money.
not
It's
just
blood
money.
and drug money.
It's mind money. It mind fucks you. Like, my job just mind fucks me. You know,
And
like,
everybody
I'm so
wants
sick
it,
of
and it's the root of all evil, and the church is begging for it.
We should have live streamed this on Facebook.
Oh, we should have. Okay,
That would have
let's
been
stop.
epic.